Do Malta a favour, do not vote Labour, says a former Labour Party councillor and activist. This and more now in NEWZ. Good morning. Desmond Zammit Marmarà says Labour's decisions and actions are a perversion of democracy. Steward allegedly set up a fund for passing bribes to the usual suspects. Grech claims that a vote for non-PN candidates is a vote for Labour. And the weather on Monday, mainly sunny, 29 degrees. Investigators suspect that Steward Healthcare set up a €1 million political support fund for passing bribes to Joseph Muscat, Schembri and Konrad Mizzi. The funds were held by Swiss firm Acuta AG, the Times of Malta reported. Acuta itself is suspected of being used as a money laundering hub for payments linked to the hospitals deal. Both Muscat and Mizzi signed consultancy agreements with Acuta shortly after leaving office. Schembri is suspected to have indirectly benefited from the fund. Investigators concluded it could not be a coincidence that the three formed relationships with Acuta and ruled out that they did so independently of one another. Muscat denied any wrongdoing, claiming he had no knowledge of the political support fund. Mizzi said that the allegations against him were purely speculative. Do Malta a favour, do not vote Labour, says former Labour councillor Desmond Zammit Marmarà. As a person who has militated in the Labour Party so many years, it would never have occurred to me some time ago that the day would come when I would be advising citizens of goodwill not to vote Labour. Writing in the Sunday Times of Malta, Zammit Marmarà said that a minority of Labour exponents was allowed to inflame passions among the most gullible Labour supporters. He criticised Prime Minister Abela for insisting that voters will decide on the Vitals inquiry. This was another false narrative created by Labour and absolutely unacceptable in a democracy. He said that electoral victories are not a means of whitewashing past abuses of power. Zammit Marmarà said he is and would remain a Labourite, but was sadly forced to admit that the present Labour government's decisions and actions are a perversion of democracy. This is a Labour government only in name. On 8 June I shall not be voting Labour, he said. Popular Gżira mayor and former Labour member Konrad questions the election's integrity. This followed an intervention by the Broadcasting Authority to stop the broadcast of a TV show in which he participated. He stressed that independent candidates like him don't have the funds to set up tents everywhere. The major parties spent 5 whole years brainwashing people through their media, he said. Instead of creating balance, the Broadcasting Authority defended this imbalance, he criticized. said he does not exclude seeking legal action because this has gone too far. Meanwhile, opposition leader Grech delivers old messages on repeat. On Tuesday, Grech said any vote for a third party or candidate was equivalent to a vote for Abela. On Sunday, he insisted that any vote not for nationalist candidates was a vote for the Labour Party. This narrative was already used in the PN's last general election campaign, managed by Chris Perversion. In an article published on Sunday, Perversion listed PN voters' support for non-PN candidates as one of 8 reasons why the PN will lose big at the MEP elections, despite everything. And the weather. The Met Office predicts a fine day, whatever that means. Temperatures will reach 29 degrees. I hope you'll have a lovely Monday. NEWZ.mt will be back tomorrow morning.